If you are product hopping without understanding your skin cycle, oh my God, not only are you stupid, you're just destroying your skin.
Destroying your skin and wasting money, to be honest.
Girls give more time to a situationship than they do to a damn product.
Welcome to GlowJob, the beauty podcast that's more than skin deep. We're the only podcast
To make you hotter and smarter.
What'd you get at the Sephora sale?
I got a couple things. I didn't go ham this year. I only bought what I call essentials. So I got, let's see, in terms of things I already use, I got the Soft Services buffing bar, which is my go-to for my keratosis pilaris. It's like my godsend. And now Andrew's got addicted to it too. So now I have to like order more. It's so bad. It's annoying. I got a restock of the CL serum foundation and their bronzer stick, which I really like. And then I tried something new. I got an ultraviolet SPF lip balm that I am now in love with. It is by far the best SPF lip balm I have ever tried.
Amazing.
What did you get?
So for me, I'm in a very similar situation where I just feel like I have so much stuff that I need to go through, but I did pick up some new hair products. I went and got the Living Proof, the new shampoo and conditioner for volume.
Ooh, yes.
I know we've been talking so much about hair porosity and we're going to get into it again later today for the episode, but I'm starting to shop with my low porosity hair in mind. So going for more volumizing, more lightweight products.
I'm here for a lightweight conditioner. And I'm so happy you're moving away from the daily mask.
I know. I still love it, but I think it's just because I'm familiar with it. But I think switching it up and we'll kind of see it because time will tell if it starts to make a difference or not.
Yeah. So wait, which hair products did you get?
So I got the combo from Living Proof, their volumizing shampoo and conditioner.
Nice. Okay. So just hair this time.
Just hair. I honestly have found so many like smaller independent brands that aren't really on Sephora. And I just love supporting them.
I know. Away. We love you. I love you so much. I can't wait till they're stocked more in the US because I swear to God, this brand, I know I keep talking about it, but they're really beautiful products.
They are. I've been obsessed with their purifying. They don't call it a shampoo. They call it a wash, but they're purifying wash and nothing gets my scalp cleaner and it feels good. It smells good. And like my hair just feels bouncier afterwards, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah. And I feel like I'm buying this with my own money. It's just formulated really well and it's a nice light product.
But yeah, no makeup, no skincare this time around. I have enough.
Like in our carousel of the dude, we did a carousel about our recommendations for the Sephora sale. And on one slide for the makeup, I think I had like a couple of products and then Julia's side was like, it took up 70% of the page.
Well, I had to, that was my trimmed down version. I had more to recommend, but those were just my favorites. So sorry, Salsa. For the makeup, I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah. You know what? You are a glam girly and I love it. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about our hottest takes on skincare, hair care, and makeup. And if you do these things, you are stupid.
So class is definitely in session, but let's kick it off with the first one.
So let's go into skincare first. If you are product hopping without understanding your skin cycle, oh my God. Not only are you stupid, you're just destroying your skin.
Destroying your skin and wasting money, to be honest. And what we mean by this is people going and buying a brand new serum, testing it out for a couple days, a week, and then switching to the next product.
Girls give more time to a situationship than they do to a damn product.
I know. And it's so disappointing because if you think about it, let's just break it down.
Yeah. We should talk about this in terms of like the science. Like, why do you need to stick with a product for more than just like a couple days, right? And it's because your skin has a cycle, just like your menstrual cycle. A full skin cell turnover takes on average anywhere between 28 to 40 days. 28 days is for young skin. So like if you're in your 20s, it's probably 28 days. If you're in your 30s, reaching your 40s, perhaps even your 50s, that cycle gets longer and longer.
Right. And if you think about it, when you see things being advertised like a retinol serum, for example, helping to turn over the skincare cycle and increase that, make it faster, it's because it's a longer cycle. You want to have younger performing skin. You're speeding it up.
So if you're not using a product for at least 28 days, the odds are you're not going to see a difference on that skin.
And there are a few exemptions here. So let's say you try a product and it breaks you out immediately. There's irritation. Get rid of it, return it. Another example is if you just don't like the feel or the smell, that's okay. Get rid of it or return it. But when it comes to things, you really do have to be patient with your skin.
So the biggest takeaway, commit to consistency. And I get it. It's hard because you see so many products that you want to try. But really, if you want to see a difference, or if you're even just testing out a product, you got to give it a couple weeks before you notice anything.
And I always get so annoyed whenever I see companies marketing their products like brighter skin in 2 days, clear up your acne in a week. It just doesn't work like that. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, it's all marketing speak. But if you want to go ham and try out a bunch of products, I always say do it in things like makeup, right? Like you can try a couple different products in makeup and not damage your skin the same way.
Oh, for sure. Switch up your lipstick every day, every hour. Go for it. So for the next one, if you're mixing products that don't have a compatible pH, kind of like you're some chemist in Breaking Bad, you're stupid.
So let's say you're using your $90 vitamin C serum, right? And you're layering that with, I don't know, a niacinamide toner. And you're wondering why, hey, I'm not really seeing results. It's because they are not pH matched. So vitamin C, which is L-ascorbic acid, needs an acidic environment to be stable. So that's usually like a 3.5 on the pH scale. And if you're mixing it with a higher pH ingredient like niacinamide, which is closer to a 6, so a little bit more neutral, those things cancel out. Remember, in chemistry class, you have acidic and then you have basic. When you put them together, they neutralize each other. So they're canceling each other out.
So the main takeaway here is to really understand what is in the product, right? And understand not just how to use it, but when to use it. You don't have to use things in the same routine every night.
Or just trust the professionals. Use a product that has a pre-formulated combo so you know that they have been formulated so that they work together and not cancel each other out. And on the same vein, there are other product combinations that just do not play well together. And one of them is mixing acids and peptides together.
So if you think about it, peptides are kind of like these delicate little princesses. They really need this perfect environment in order to thrive.
So certain peptides like copper peptides and growth factors, they really do not play well with low pH or aggressive acids.
And these can be acids like glycolic acid, lactic acid, L-ascorbic acid, aka vitamin C. All of these things can really mess up peptides.
So other combos you should really be avoiding. Number one, retinoids and any sort of AHA-BHA combo. This is way too many exfoliants. You're just going to induce redness, irritation, and you might even damage your skin barrier.
And other things that can cause irritation is combining vitamin C's and AHAs. Again, that is just way too much for your skin to tolerate.
Retinol and benzoyl peroxide, they actually can cancel each other out.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one we have is a retinol and a vitamin C. Again, these are really strong actives. And you'll notice that we've said retinol acid over and over again in this. So just keep that in mind when you're layering your products.
So the takeaway here is use acids and peptides in different parts of your routine. So that means using the acid at night and your peptide in the morning. That way you still can incorporate it without canceling them each other out.
For sure. And I like to take it an even more drastic step and do something called skin cycling, where I strategically schedule my week where every single night I'm doing something different. So I only exfoliate every other night. So I'll do exfoliate, rest, exfoliate, rest. And by that way, I'm really making sure that I can keep my skin barrier intact.
Number 3 for skincare, thinking your damaged skin barrier is just a little bit of dryness. Oof, this one's bad. So if your skin is suddenly stinging, flaking, and it's highly sensitized to everything you put on it, it's not just some flakiness and dryness on your skin. You've actually damaged your stratum corneum, which is the most outer layer of your skin.
So ultimately, you really just don't need to exfoliate. Don't get rid of that flakiness. You need to work on balancing.
So your skin barrier is held together by something called corneocytes. So they're technically dead skin cells, but they're held together by lipids. And so you can kind of think of it as like a brick and mortar analogy.
So when you do things like over exfoliate, skip SPF, or really do anything to just strip your skin, you're getting rid of that mortar, right? That lipids, and what that's going to do, it's going to impact your tool or transepidermal water loss. And all of that water leaving your skin, that's what making you flaky and dry.
And basically your skin is telling you that you have overdone it. You need to give your skin time to rebuild its lipids, aka that mortar, and also rebalance its pH. So you gotta go stupid simple for a couple of weeks. And I really stress for a couple of weeks. I think people want to just like, okay, I'm not going to use anything crazy for like 2 days and they go back to their routine. No. I'm saying like at least 2, if not 4 weeks, you have to really simplify and strip down your routine.
Yes, bringing it back to that first point, think about your skin cycle, minimum 28 days.
So what does that mean? It means no retinol, no retinoids, no vitamin C, no AHAs, no BHAs. You want to use gentle products. So think like a gentle cleanser and a moisturizer that has both humectants and occlusives.
And the difference between a humectant and an occlusive here is a humectant is something that's going to draw water into the skin, and an occlusive is going to seal it in, right? So it's a 2-step process, and there are different products that do those 2 different things.
Let's talk about ingredients that are either a humectant or an occlusive. And you've probably seen this before. So humectants, again, are things that are attracting water to your skin. And these ingredients include hyaluronic acid, panthenol, and glycerin.
And occlusives, or things that are just kind of creating that shield and trapping everything in, that's going to be things like squalene, petroleum, and shea butter. And one thing I want to bring up is that yes, irritation can look like dryness and flakiness, but irritation can also look like breakouts. So when your tool is disrupted and when your skin is dry because of the irritation, what that can do is actually make your skin overproduce oil. And that overproduction of oil, as you guys know, that's what can cause acne. And a lot of times when it's irritation caused acne, people are going to want to use astringents, things to get rid of that oil. But I beg you, please do not do that. Instead, you want to focus on balancing the skin and balancing out that oil production first, and then go in and, treat the spots as needed.
I think another thing that's really important to note is that there is a difference between having sensitive skin and then sensitized skin, right? Like sensitive skin is a skin type. It's something you're born with, just like how
Me,
Julie just raised her hand, just like how you're born with, I don't know, brown eyes or blue eyes.
For sure. Like I'm just have sensitive skin. There's nothing I can do about it, right? It's reactive. It gets red really easily. Whenever I'm hot, it gets red, for example. It's just how it is.
But then sensitized skin is actually something that you did to yourself.
Yes, you're the only one to blame. Sorry about it.
Yeah. So you could have had normal skin or oily skin or combo skin, and then you have overdone it with products and created a damaged skin barrier, and that is sensitized skin.
Right. And then there's the last thing to add there. It's not just the products you put onto your skin. It could also be other things that's making your skin sensitized. Allergies, for example, having an allergic reaction, having, if it's again, too hot outside or environmental conditions, too much pollution, that can also really throw your skin out of whack.
Or not wearing SPF. Numero uno.
Numero uno.
So when in doubt, we always like to say kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
You got to listen to your skin because it will tell you when you've overdone it. So our final skincare one here, and I think a lot of girls always forget this, but as soon as you finish washing your face or getting out of the shower, do not wait too long before you put on your moisturizer or your serums because your skin is drying out so fast.
Exactly. And speaking about like humectants and occlusives before, when your skin is damp, that's moisture right there that you want to lock in. You don't want that leaving you. And when you come out of the shower, that is the perfect time when your skin is still damp to moisturize.
Absolutely. I know everyone these days, they love an everything shower. I love an everything shower. You love an everything shower. But just because you want to take 2 hours to, have that routine, it doesn't mean that you need to wait that long before putting on your first layer.
So takeaway here is moisturize while your skin is still damp, not dry like the Sahara Desert. So let's move into hair care. First up is shampooing your ends. Shampoo is for your scalp, not the strands of your hair.
If you do this, you are stupid. But just think about it. Your scalp is producing oil. There's going to be some excess. There's going to be a bit of debris and even cell buildup. So yes, you want to get rid of that.
Yeah. And think of it this way, like your scalp is your skin, and skin produces sebum, and it produces grimy dirt and things that you want to wash away. But your hair, this is made up of keratin. It's not a living organ like your skin is.
Yes, your hair doesn't produce oil. Your hair is dead, bro. The scalp is what produces the oil. And if you think about it, if you have long hair and if your oil is traveling down, it can travel down the roots a couple inches, but it's not traveling to the ends. So don't strip the ends of your hair.
So there was a 2017 study from the International Journal of Trichology that found excessive washing and aggressive, so meaning like when you're really going to town on your hair, that actually significantly increased hair shaft damage.
So the takeaway here is really just focus your shampoo just at the roots and just let that shampoo just kind of rinse through the rest of your hair.
You got to treat your strands like silk, not a kitchen sponge.
So next on hair, if you do this, you're stupid, but using the wrong kind of hair products for your specific hair porosity type.
So I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important porosity is and really only like categorize products by like hair type. And the thing is, porosity means so much. So there are 3 types of porosities. There's low, normal, and high. Low porosity hair has really tightly bound cuticles, which makes it resistant to water absorption, and it's really prone to product buildup.
So things that you really want to avoid with low porosity hair is any type of super, super heavy, thick cream. Again, it's just going to sit on the surface of your hair. It's not going to penetrate and make a difference.
You're going to want to use clarifying products like a clarifying shampoo to really get rid of all that buildup. And that's something you can incorporate into your hair routine.
Some of the best kind of clarifying products that I love, again, Away, they do such a good job, but I love the one from Way as well.
Low porosity girlies, steam is your friend. We have really tightly, I'm a low porosity hair girl, and so is Jules. And we have really tightly bound cuticles. So you need steam to help open them up.
So it's the same as using steam during a facial. That steam is really just going to help to soften your pores, really just prime your skin for the next step. Same thing with steam for your hair.
You know, once you've actually steamed your hair and your cuticles are primed to absorb things, that's when you want to start using humectants like glycerin or hyaluronic acid. And yes, you can use hyaluronic acid in your hair.
I know. It's one of the best things that I've started to add to my routine. And I'm not saying like hyaluronic acid from your skincare serum. Do not put that in your hair. It needs to be designed for hair. But what it does is it just, again, draws that moisture into the hair so it can actually make a difference. So next, let's talk about high porosity hair. And that's when there's a bit more space between the hair cuticle. And what that means is it can let a lot of products and moisture in, but also let those things go out.
For high porosity girlies, things you want to avoid: lightweight water-based products alone, because you need something to seal it in. Otherwise, it's going to evaporate and leave your hair very quickly.
But things that you should reach for are things that are more heavyweight. Think about like an oil, cream, hair butters, and also things that have rich proteins in them. So that can be like a bond repair treatment from, let's say, like a K18 or an Olaplex. Those are good things to reach for.
Yeah, if you have high porosity hair, bond builders are your best friend. So our takeaway here: learn your porosity. It is a game changer.
Yes, we talked all about that in our recent hair care episode of how to exactly test your hair porosity. So if you want to know, go back a couple weeks.
Next up on the hair care no-nos: if you're applying a ton of oil and thinking it's going to moisturize your hair, it doesn't work that way.
Hate to break it to you.
Applying oils to your hair directly doesn't translate to moisturizing. Again, you can think of oils like occlusives, right? Those are the sealants. It's like saran wrap. If you're saran wrapping dry hair, all you're doing is locking in dryness.
And it's really important to know that not all oils are the same. One of my favorite hair products is a scalp oil from NECA, and it's actually designed to be a pre-cleanse. So it's not moisturizing your hair at all. It's actually drawing out and removing excess oil from your scalp, really helping to clean it. So don't think that all oils are the same.
You can think about it like a makeup removing oil. So hair oils, they help to break down that sebum in your scalp, just like how cleansing oils help break down makeup.
So let's just go through some of the best oils for a low porosity hair type. So we have argan oil, grapeseed, jojoba, sweet almond, and baobab. All of these are more lightweight oils. So it's just really important to, again, remember not all oils are the same.
So for high porosity hair, you really want to be using heavier oils because your hair can handle that. So think of things like castor oil, avocado oil, olive oil, shea butters, moringa oil. These are all perfect for high porosity hair.
And honestly, anytime I ever see those words on a bottle, I just know that's not for me.
Run away.
Run away.
So the takeaway here is apply oils last. Hydrate and then seal it all in with a hair oil.
There you go. And now let's move on to the last segment. And this one's my favorite because you know I'm a makeup girly, but if you do this, you're stupid. If you match your foundation to your hand.
Oh my God, I see girls do this all the time when I'm in Sephora. They're taking the swatches and they're applying it to their hand and then they're putting it up to their face. And I'm like, no, those are two different shades.
Absolutely. It's just crazy because I think, the best rule of thumb when you're trying to foundation match yourself is either go for your chest or kind of go for the jaw area here because those are going to really help. But I hate when they put it on their hands. It's really not going to teach you much of anything.
And if you really want to get it perfect, and let's say you have makeup on your face already and you don't feel like messing it up, just ask the store employee for a sample. They will literally pump a little bit of the makeup product into a little plastic jar that you can take home and try out at home.
Honestly, they'll give you way more than a little pump. I've gone before and I was going on a quick girls trip to Vegas and I was in college and I really wanted to get that bougie Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation.
Yeah.
And I was just chatting it up with this girl and I'm like, hey, I'm going on a quick little trip. I really want to try this. I don't know what shade I'm in. And she made the fattest samples for me and 3 different ones. And she actually gave me a good tip. She said, with each of these, if one is too dark, just put it on the perimeter of your face, kind of where you would put a bronzer. If it's too light, kind of focus it on the under eyes and the center of your face like a highlighter. And if it's the right shade, just put it everywhere. So she carried me that weekend because those things are I think they're now $70 a bottle.
Yeah, it's expensive. She deserves Employee of the Month.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And also just adding to the whole shopping experience in Sephora. I don't know why they do this, but the lighting is always so bad inside. And it's never actually going to give you a good understanding of if it matches or not because you need natural light, right?
I know, not high fluorescent lighting that looks like you're a ghost or a skeleton.
For sure. I mean, I've made this mistake so many of times of doing my makeup in really bad lighting, or maybe it's a little bit too dark and then I go out in natural light and I just look absolutely insane. Oh my God.
So takeaway here is match your foundation to your jawline or just ask for a sample. It's free. The second no for makeup is using expired makeup like you think it's some sort of vintage Chanel. No freaking way.
Honestly, I used to be so guilty of this, Saucy. And it's not necessarily I guess different products expire at different rates, but when you buy that luxury Chanel product, whether it's a Chanel bronzer, Dior lip gloss, any type of designer thing, you want to hold on to it because it's just so pretty and kind of expensive.
I get it. I truly do get it. But if you knew what a bacteria farm those expired products are, you would run the other way.
And the reason why they don't last forever is because yes, there are preservatives in the product. It's what's designed to be there to keep the product safe for longer periods of time. But preservatives break down over time. And then the product is not going to be safe anymore. And it not just breaks down over time, but if you even do things like leave it out in the sun, that can also speed up the breakdown process.
And mascara is the worst offender. Think about this. It's dark. It's wet. It's constantly exposed to air when you're taking the wand out. It is a feeding ground for bacteria. And in fact, there was a study in 2013 from the International Journal of Cosmetic Science, and it analyzed 40 mascara samples. And they found staph bacteria in 79% of the samples.
Just imagine putting that on your eye every single day. Oh my God, that's disgusting.
That's why they tell you not to share mascara with people.
Oh yeah, that was the first makeup tip my mom ever gave me. She's like, do not share products with your girlfriends, especially things for eyes.
Because you can get pink eye.
Yeah, or styes, or just any wide variety of terrible,
Yuck.
There was another study back in 2008 from the Journal of American Optometric Association, and they found contamination pigmentation increases significantly after 3 months. But basically, it's linked to eye infections and even things like vision loss.
Oh, no.
I know. So just throw that mascara away. I'm going to go home and throw mine away after this. Jeez.
So the recommendation here is that you're supposed to replace your mascara every 3 months, not 6, not every year, 3 months, girls.
Yeah. So if you're going to go and splurge on that, like your very first designer or luxury item, don't go for a mascara. Go for something else.
And it's not just mascara. It's things like lipstick too. And I used to be the worst offender because I thought like lipsticks could last, a really long time until I read this study. It's a 2019 study in the Journal of Harmonized Research in Applied Sciences, and they found that 70% of used lipsticks contain the same bacteria that cause UTIs, urinary tract infections.
Ugh, I think I just threw up in my mouth.
So gross.
I mean, and we've all heard those stories of girls like sharing lip products. There was a huge breakout, I think, at some beauty convention back in the day where one person had a herpes outbreak and used a lip product as a tester. Side note, never fucking use a tester. Jesus. But anyways, so that one person using that tester, she then passed it on to dozens of other people who used the same tester.
Oh, it's so scary.
I know. So ever, if you ever have a cold sore, another tip is just to just throw the lip product away and get a new one and just replace it altogether. Do not reuse it. Like the way that, just think about a lip gloss where you're just opening it and then it keeps like with the wand and that little tube, it just keeps all the bacteria in the little tube with all like the pink shimmer sparkles. But just please throw it away. So since we love you guys, we put together a quick little guide of how long you should actually keep all of your different types of makeup products. But one rule of thumb is that if the product has water in it, so again, look at the back of the box, look at the ingredient label. If you see water, it will expire faster. But let's just get into it.
Mascara. You got to replace that every 3 months. That is a playground for bacteria.
And on the topic of things just related to eyes, a lot of eye products in general. So that also includes things like liquid liner. And for that reason, that's why I always shop drugstore, because I don't want to shell out money on something I'm just going to throw away in 3 months.
Totally. Now moving on to base. So cream and liquid foundations. These will last you anywhere between 6 to 12 months from opening. Remember that pump bottles stay fresh longer. Jars, they're going to expire faster.
And also just wash your hands before you start applying makeup because you don't want to put dirty fingers in that jar over and over again.
Ugh. And of course, store these guys away from light and heat. Both of those things will break down the formula faster.
And the same thing applies to concealer. That's also going to be like 6 to 12 months. But again, if you do have like a stick concealer, those do last a little bit longer because they have less water in the formula. So those will give you about, 12 months, 18 months.
And a trick I like to use on like stick products like that, or even sometimes on powder products, is I have a little spray bottle at home that's filled with alcohol, like 90% proof alcohol. And I will spray it on there to make sure it's cleaning every, couple weeks.
No, it's so smart. I actually do the same thing. And I learned that trick from a pro makeup artist because that's how they keep their products clean, because they have to.
So primers, 12 months.
Lipsticks are about 12 to 24 months. Lip glosses, even shorter, only 6 to 12 months.
Lip liners and lip pencils, every 24 months, but remember to sharpen them to keep them clean.
And next we're moving on to powders, and this can be like blush, bronzer, highlighter, even things like eyeshadows. Those are going to expire between 18 to 24 months. So again, a little bit longer because there's less water in it. But if you think about like those cream products, less than that.
So our takeaway here is that you can't always see or smell expiration. If things start to separate weirdly, or you can't remember when you bought it, just toss it. Be safe.
Be safe.
Number 3, if you are not washing your makeup brushes and your sponges, and then your skin's breaking out and you're blaming it on your skincare, this is a big no-no. I think girls spend so much time on so many other parts of their beauty routine, but neglect the brushes.
100%. I mean, I religiously wash my brushes once a week, but I also have multiple different brushes. So I basically only use a brush for about 2 to 3 days and then switch to another brush for 2 to 3 days. And then I wash them all every single week. It takes forever, but you really, really, really have to do it.
So obviously washing your brushes is really important and can help get rid of that first layer of bacteria. But there are other living organisms besides bacteria. things like fungi and viruses. And this is something we learned in aesthetic school, things like quats. So there's a difference between cleaning and disinfecting. And a disinfectant will literally kill every single living organism. And so we use something called quats, which are just like a stronger cleanser.
It's like heavy duty stuff.
Yeah, this is like stuff that they use in salons, they use at spas. And so I, just like Julia, like to wash my brushes weekly. But then once a month, I actually put my brushes in this like high grade disinfectant to literally kill all of the stuff there. So I'm making sure that my brushes are safe.
Are all of your brushes like synthetic hair, or what kind of brushes do you use? Because I don't know if that's good for like natural hair brushes.
I mean, honestly, it might not be, but to me, I'd rather have them be clean and just replace the brush than have it be like, I have to prioritize. Do I care more about the brush or my skin?
You know what? That's super fair. And I guess to add on to my whole brush routine, because it is a whole routine, but I actually do wash them twice every time I wash the brushes. Because, as taking it back to esthetician school, it's not just, there's a difference between using soap and water and then actually going and removing bacteria from things. So I'll go in and I'll do a first cleanse with a brush cleanser, and you can literally see all of like the pigment and even like the built up oils from the foundation getting out of the brush. And then after I do that, I disinfect the brushes with I forget the name of the brand, but it's like a pro grade product and it's alcohol based. So you just dip the brush into it and then it helps it also to dry a lot faster. But that 1-2 punch, I think, keeps my brushes, cleaner.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've also seen people use like the cleansing spray on their brushes too, because I think people are concerned about the hairs falling out of the brush. I'm sure that works just as well, but I like the fact that I know the quats, like literally within 3 minutes, it's killing all the things. It's been proven.
For sure. You probably have to swap out your brushes more often.
But I'm willing to make that sacrifice for my skin.
You know what? That's totally fair. But for me, I don't know. Some of the brushes I've had since high school, which is probably too long, but I've been on the hunt for a good foundation brush for a long time now. And I still have my one from high school. It is hanging on. Actually, no, it still works really, really well.
Where's it from?
It's from Bare Minerals.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's their foundation brush and it's so good. And the bristles still work. And I think it's also because it's like a synthetic bristle, but it works really nicely still.
So let's back all this up with some real science. So there was a study in 2020 by researchers at Ashton University in the UK, and they were testing various makeup brushes and beauty sponges. And they found that 79 to 90% of all of these were contaminated with bacteria. E. coli and staph were both present in these brushes. What the actual fuck?
That is so disgusting. And out of all of these things, it was beauty blenders that had the highest load of bacteria.
And fungi, which is disgusting. Fungi was found in 57% of the beauty blenders because of the damp environment that they're in. So think about it. Your beauty blender is probably sitting in your bathroom counter, and bathrooms are known to be humid. A cesspool for fungi.
And also, I gotta share this one story, but I don't know if you remember back in 2015, there was this girl, Stevie Miller from England, and she was making this video talking about her beauty blender. And she's like, hey guys, or I guess in a British accent, but hey guys, I noticed this little black spot on my beauty blender and I wonder what it is. I washed it and it just won't come out. So then she goes and takes a pair of scissors and cuts it open. And guess what was inside?
Oh, Jesus. I don't think I want to know.
Bugs.
Oh my God.
I know. Bugs. Tons and tons of bugs. The biggest bug was the size of a penny inside her beauty blender. Imagine using that on your face every single day.
Okay, you know when like someone says something like gross and you get really itchy? Like you suddenly just made my entire... Oh my God, that actually feels like my worst nightmare.
I don't know. But the crazy thing is, like, would you post that online afterwards?
Yes, I would. I would show, oh, no, wait, maybe, because it makes you look disgusting.
Yeah, I'd be like, that girl that girl's disgusting. Oh no, but poor girl. I think a lot of people stopped using beauty blenders after that. I know like they're still really popular because they do give a great finish, but just throw them out. You don't have to use them for a long period of time. Like use it, wash it, and then maybe get rid of it once a month? What would you recommend?
I think about like my kitchen sponge. How often do you throw out your kitchen sponge? I'm curious.
So my husband's in charge of that. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he throws it out every 2 weeks, which
2
I think is a
weeks?
little too frequent.
Wow.
We buy them in bulk at Costco and I kind of think it's wasteful, but you know, he just gets really grossed out. So as soon as like it starts to either like smell a little bit or look less than pristine, he's like, new sponge.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm kind of similar to Gotham then because I usually, not 2 weeks, I throw it out every 3 weeks. But
You're the same as us.
No, but here's the other thing that I do with, this is a total tangent, but with sponges, I learned this hack from a friend. Basically, you know, sponges, they're really big, but you never actually use the full thing. So I always cut them in half. And then no, truly, think about the next time you use a sponge. It feels less wasteful because I know I throw them away pretty quickly. So if you look in my kitchen, that my sponges look mini. Everyone always asks me, where do you get these little mini sponges? And I'm like, I just cut them in half. But I replace them frequently because I know it's a gross like magnet for bacteria and stuff like that. So it makes me think a beauty blender, you should not be using it more than like a month at a time.
I don't like using them at all, to be honest. But one thing that I have seen more girls doing is like they talk about this on like TikTok or whatever and talk about how much bacteria is like in them. So they buy these cheaper ones and they buy these big bags of all these cheap ones.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm just like, you know, just buy a freaking brush.
Yeah.
Like that's wasteful.
I like brushes too, but back to that study, they also found that 93% of beauty blenders have never been cleaned before.
What the hell?
And 64% of them had been dropped on the floor and were continued to be used. This is very gross.
Like the thing is like, girls, I know it's inconvenient. Oh, you know what? I think I know why they don't wash them.
Why?
It's because you have to wet a beauty blender anyways before you go and use it. You're supposed to get it really, really wet, wring out all the water and have it be damp. In their minds, do they think that is washing, like washing with water?
I don't
Does
know.
the study account for that? I mean, it's still gross, but like you get why someone could think that, oh, it can't be that dirty because I'm rinsing it out every time before I use it.
I get it, but water alone is not enough to wash off bacteria and viruses and fungi. In fact, water is probably attracting more fungi.
Yes, it's creating that like dank environment for them to thrive.
Oh, but 93%, that is very high.
I don't know. I'm a brush girl, team brush girl.
Same, brush girl. Wash your brushes, please. Please wash. Please wash. And so to tie this all back to skincare, which we kicked this off with, look, if the bacteria thing doesn't even gross you out yet, which I will be shocked if this is not scaring the bejesus out of you because it scares me, think about your skin. If you're not washing your makeup brushes and your sponges, you are sabotaging your skincare. It does not matter how much money you're putting into that routine. These dirty ass brushes are going to fuck it all up.
Yes. And honestly, like just look at the pros. Professionals, they keep their kits so freaking clean. Why wouldn't you just do it for yourself as well?
So our takeaway here is your makeup brushes and sponges hold bacteria, fungi, disgusting things. If you care about your skin, wash your brushes.
Wash your damn brushes
Weekly.
Okay, and the last one we have for makeup and the last one of the day, but it is if you think that a high coverage concealer is making your foundation look cakey or your base routine look cakey, you're stupid.
So there is a difference between high coverage and just having like a lot of product on your face. And I don't think people realize it. Like high coverage doesn't always mean thicker. It means more pigment.
Absolutely. So, you know, it's just a more pigmented product. So what I think a lot of people do is like, oh, I'll go for a lightweight concealer and I'll just apply multiple layers of it. But think about it. Think about it like a cake, right? You don't want to look cakey. Why are you adding multiple layers of frosting onto your face thinking that it's going to look more natural?
It's so true. I know. So the thing about like a good quality, high coverage concealer is that you can use less product, but get more coverage. And I don't know if everyone realizes that is what is happening.
There's this terrible connotation that like high coverage means cakey, but really if you do want coverage, you need more pigment to cover. You don't need more product to cover. And that's the difference.
Yes, that is key. And I feel like the product that really encompasses all of this for me is the Jouer concealer. And that has been now my favorite high coverage concealer.
Oh, it's so good. And yes, it is thick, but really you just need that one dot and then you just blend it out. And another tip is to like actually let the product sit for a little bit, because once it sits and the pigment can really settle, when you start like diffusing it and moving the edges around to kind of blend it in with the rest of your skin, you do get that like really seamless full coverage without it, adding another layer.
And I literally use one dot. I take the wand, I do one little boop, and that's all I need to do my under eyes. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Everyone should honestly try it. It's become my favorite, like so fast. So the takeaway here is that if you actually want to conceal anything, really make a difference in terms of covering something up, use a high coverage concealer. It's that simple.
High coverage equals more pigment, not cakey. I feel like I get so many people always asking me like, what should I be doing to make my skin look better? Or like, what's your big beauty tip? And I feel like these are the things that people need to hear, these big no-nos. Your skin is a living organism. And if we can remind ourselves that, like, you can pare things back and just treat your skin better and don't overdo it, you will be better off for it.
I know. I think that a lot of times, and it's because, again, of marketing and the way that consumers are being talked to, is they think, oh, I just need to add another product, or I just need to like add this, like, I need to go buy that serum or buy that whatever, and that's going to fix everything. But no, it's really way more simple than that, because we got to remember to kiss, Sasa.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Thanks so much for listening. A new episode drops every Wednesday morning.
And don't forget to share some love, follow, subscribe, leave us a comment, and share this episode with a friend who needs a glow up.
And let's be friends. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at GlowJob Podcast.
If you have any questions, email us at hello@glowjobpodcast.com or shoot us a DM on Instagram.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.